platform. And so if you want to support Black media and be a part of Black media and the growth of Black media, then go subscribe, theblackfinancialchannel.com. Make sure you sign up. So anyway, guys, let me hop in. I'm actually right now, I am still in Oakland. And I want to give a shout out to the city of Oakland. Oakland is a wonderful city with wonderful people and amazing Black people. And we did an event at the Wings of Love Church this week. It was a financial event. We did a great seminar, and we just tore it up, man. It was awesome. I mean, it was totally packed out. All the folks came out, and shout out to Black Oakland. So if you are connected to Black Oakland or from Black Oakland or been to Black Oakland, then take pride in that, because Oakland is one of those special places that just has really special people. So anyway, let me know. First of all, give me a yes or no if you can see me and hear me. If you can see me and hear me, give me a yes or no so that I'll just know that I'm coming through. I'm transmitting okay. Yes or no if you can see me and hear me. Also, do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up button, share and subscribe button if you haven't done that yet, so that other people can see the conversation. So let's talk about the coronavirus. Let's talk about what's going on with that. This week, you guys have a lot of you are investors. A lot of you have stocks that you own. I don't know how many of you own stocks, but if you're an investor, say yes, say me, say I. All the future millionaires in the building or current millionaires in the building, say I, say yes, say me. Speak it into existence. Tell me about your financial journey and how great you're going to be. And let everybody know where you're headed. I see Keith and Chantel and Frank and Laconis and Shirley and Nikki and Mr. President. And I'm gonna tell you, when I was in Oakland, I was in this going through East Oakland, then I went to West Oakland, and I was talking to a brother about gentrification, which is a huge problem here, where folks pretty much took that land and those properties that we didn't want. And they came and they bought them all up, and now the property value went up, and people they're evicting people. I think that's a great lesson in history. And the good thing about historical setbacks is that those are the best teaching experiences. And I said, what can you imagine? What if 40 years ago, 50 years ago, if we'd had a Black revolution on ownership of property? Imagine if 50 years ago, instead of marching and singing "We Shall Overcome" and trying to get white folks to let us sit at the counter at a Woolworths, we had said we shall overcome by ownership. If we got together and said, no, we're not going to march for a chance to sit at your table, we're going to march for a chance to build a table, right? What if we said, hey, instead of us trying to get you to be nicer to us, we're going to make you be nicer to us, because we're going to own assets. We're going to own land. We're going to take our little nickels, put them together, form business cooperatives. We're going to make sure all our children are schooled on how to run a business. We're going to make sure that all of our people are leading the world in economic intelligence. If we had done that, then I believe that we would be in a different position right now than we are today. And I stick to that. That's my story, and that's what I believe. So let's get started. Type B1 in the chat. Let me know that you're Black first. I only want people here that are Black and intelligent and Black first, and believe Black people are more important than anybody else. If you're putting everybody else's agenda ahead of the Black agenda, then I don't have anything for you. So type B1 in the chat to let me know that you put Black people first and that Black people matter to you more than anything else, and that the Black community is your top priority. Type B1 so that I know that we're on the same page. Anyway, Martin says, sometimes he actually said something intelligent. I don't know what that means. I don't know what the hell whatever you said, that don't even make no damn sense to me. But okay, so let me read what's going on. So CNBC, I'm gonna just read through this article. Basically, to give you the short version of it, the Dow is expected to recover this week. The stock market is expected to have some good outlook, some good outcomes. Basically, the futures market, which is what they analyze over the weekend to determine what's going to happen when the markets suddenly open up and we're able to act on all this information that's accumulated over the weekend. And basically, there's going to be a burst of activity, a lot of trading, I'm sure. Because people have been trying to sort through all the information related to the coronavirus. People are trying to figure out what really happened, what's going on, what's true, what's not true, how many cases are out there, what should we be worried about. And it's very important. I mean, there are people who spent the entire weekend analyzing the coronavirus. That's all they've been thinking about. And so when Monday hits, you're going to see a big major move. The move is expected to be up. That makes sense because, My dissertation was actually on market reversals and market momentum and things like that. And basically, I kind of expected a reversal. I mean, after a drop like last week, where we've actually officially hit correction territory. Correction is 10% or more of a decline in the market value of an asset. As we've hit correction territory, you're seeing, you typically see a reversal. That means you see something kind of bounce back. And the thing about a correction versus a bear market is that a correction is like a cold. A correction is something that the market is expected to recover from. It recovers, and then it just keeps growing, keeps going up in the long-term upward trend. A bear market is a little bit more of a concern. A bear market is not a cold. It's like pneumonia. And a bear market is a little bit deeper. So you're talking about 20% down as opposed to 10%. That's the technical definition. And are we in a bear market? I don't know. I don't think that we are, because we're reacting to kind of one specific phenomenon. Now, the only reason that the coronavirus and the activity around it could be of a concern for people is because it could be indicative of something deeper. It could be indicative of something even worse. Like you go to the doctor, and the doctor sees you sniffling, and they're like, "Oh my God, you've got the coronavirus, right? You might die." Well, that's a whole different ballgame at that point. Do you get what I'm saying? Give me a yes or no if you follow what I'm saying here. So right now, we don't know if the market has a cold or if the market has coronavirus, right? We don't know if it's the flu or if it's pneumonia. And one of the things that I did see that did concern me was I read that Chinese manufacturing levels have just dropped to almost nothing. China's kind of been quarantined from the entire global economic system, and that's really causing a lot of concern over there, I imagine, economically speaking. Okay, so let me see here. Somebody's asking, where is Boyce? Is that some hotel suite? Yeah, it is my hotel. I'm still in the Oakland, San Fran area. I don't tell people exactly where I'm at because everybody don't love me. And when you become public, you got to kind of be a little bit incognito about where you're at any given time. So I'm not into necessarily telling people exactly where I am all the time. That's not good. All right, so let me read a little bit more. Stock futures recovered from an earlier tumble on Sunday night as investors shrugged off concerns about the coronavirus outbreak. As of 11:02 Eastern Time Sunday, the Dow Jones Industrial Average Futures. Now, futures are assets you buy from the future. I explain all that in my stock market class. You can get a $1 free trial or $1 trial. Sorry, it's not free. It's $1. But you can do the first month for $1 at theblackstockmarketprogram.com. That's theblackstockmarketprogram.com. If you'd like to dig more into how all this works and the fundamentals of everything. So feel free to check that out. The Dow Jones Industrial Average Futures were up 193 points, pointing to an opening gain of about 154 for the index at Monday's open. So that means that the Dow is expected to open in positive territory. Dow futures briefly fell more than 500 points earlier before recovering to point to opening gains of more than 200 points. The Dow, S&P 500, and NASDAQ Composite all fell more than 10% last week, their biggest weekly decline since October 2008. So it hasn't been since Obama got elected during that major crash back then that the market has had this kind of a negative performance. They also entered into correction territory, down more than 10% from all-time highs notched earlier in February. Those declines came after a sharp increase in coronavirus cases outside of China. The number of cases continued to increase over the weekend, including the U.S. The Japanese yen, which is often seen as a safe haven currency in times of economic uncertainty, weakened against the greenback. Now, what that means is that there was a surge to the yen, which is a safe haven asset. People tend to buy more yen, more Japanese yen, when they feel that there is global economic uncertainty for various reasons. We won't go into that now, but the fact that the yen weakened against the dollar says to me that the demand for the yen has dropped a little bit, which to me indicates that that some of this fear. Remember, I talked to you guys about all the anxiety and fear that was experienced, because of the coronavirus. I felt like it was a little bit overblown, not because it wasn't true or not because it couldn't be correct, but I felt it was overblown because you really didn't know everything that you had to be afraid of. Everybody felt that they should be scared. And I think if you're going to be scared, at least know what you're scared of. And people didn't know exactly what they were scared of. So I think that's the thing that concerns me about all of this, is that people were running around like other chickens with their head cut off, and they didn't really know what was real and what wasn't. And Donald Trump didn't help that by, giving these crazy press conferences, just saying ridiculous stuff. As of Sunday, more than 85,000 cases have been confirmed around the world, along with 2,900 virus-related deaths. Australia, Thailand, and the U.S. reported over the weekend their first coronavirus-related deaths. Rhode Island was the first U.S. state in the East Coast to report a coronavirus case. The number of cases in England rose to 35 after 12 new cases were confirmed on Sunday. Cases in China also reported more than 500 new cases on Saturday. The outbreak of COVID-19 has certainly changed the near-term narrative, says Chetan Aya, global head of economics at Morgan Stanley, in a note to clients Sunday. It's an untimely shock, considering that the starting point of global growth was weak and the recovery was very nascent. Yes. Now, the big concern is that there was horrible, terrible economic data out of China. This is what's leading people to think that we might be headed to a global recession. It worries a lot of people, including me. Wall Street got its first look over the weekend at the economic toll the virus has taken on China, the epicenter of the outbreak. A private survey on Chinese manufacturing activity released during Asian trading hours on Monday came at its weakest level ever. The Caixin Market Manufacturing Purchasing Managers Index came in at 40.3 for February, far below the expected reading of 45.7 by economists in a Reuters poll. That came after an official data release Saturday showed China's official manufacturing PMI plunged to 35.7%, which is a record low. The plunge shows the extent to which an outbreak can hit an economy, says Ed Hyman, a widely followed economist on Wall Street. All this is quite uncertain, and we may be overreacting, but we don't want to underreact. So what did Ed just say? What is Ed saying? What Ed is saying is that watching China burn economically, as a result of the virus, is excellent information for any country that wants to know how a virus breakout in their country is going to affect their economic indicators, right? So, you sit there and you watch what happens when your friend gets shot in the stomach and you see that he bleeds out and, he's in a lot of pain, and that helps like, okay, if I get shot in the stomach, it's going to hurt. I'm going to bleed pretty badly. Maybe there's ways I can prepare for that. At the very least, my goal is to not get shot. But if I get shot, I kind of know what to expect. But I also maybe know a little bit about how to protect myself in the event that I get shot by not getting shot in the first place. And if I do get shot, I know what to do after that. So, but I'm probably still going to hurt a little bit, right? So that's what's going on with China. They're watching China and they're saying three things. They're saying, one, how do we avoid an outbreak in our country? How do we avoid having the problems China had? Because China lies to its people. And that's one of the reasons why they had the outbreak, in my opinion. Number two, if there is an outbreak, how do we mitigate the damage? How do we know which arteries of the economic system are going to be damaged the most? And how do we minimize the amount of damage that's going to occur? And then three, what do we brace ourselves for? Like when you talk about the things that just can't be prevented, like there's an outbreak and there's an economic collapse as a result of an outbreak, what do we just need to be prepared for? So watching China tells them how bad it can get, which factors into how assets are going to be priced. I believe that they're probably going to find that they did overreact. But what he's saying makes sense as well. You don't want to underreact because it's an epidemic, and an epidemic is something that just gets really, really bad, and it can grow really, really fast. So let me keep going. Worries over the coronavirus impact on corporate profits and the global economy led investors to seek safer alternatives to stocks, pushing U.S. Treasury yields to all-time lows. Basically, when stocks when the demand for stocks goes down, the demand for bonds goes up. When the demand for bonds goes up, the prices go up. When the prices go up, the yields go down. So that's why the yields are at an all-time low, because everybody wants bonds because they're trying to get out of stocks. Global investors will be prone to panic as the virus arrives at their doorstep, underscoring the need for near-run prudence and patience before augmenting favored holdings. Okay, the outlook, this is from MRB Partners, is what they wrote in a note. So pay attention, let's listen to this. Okay, global investors will be prone to panic. So they're really talking about something psychological. They're not really talking about economics yet. They'll be prone to panic as the virus arrives at their doorstep, which underscores the need for near-run prudence and patience before augmenting favored holdings. So it says, chill out and don't go buy a whole bunch of stuff just yet, because if the virus hits your country, then investors are going to freak out. And if they freak out, that could push the prices of those stocks down even further, which means that you may want to chill out and wait for them to hit rock bottom before you make your move. Does that make sense? Give me a yes or no if that makes sense to you. If you follow what I was just saying, I want to make sure you guys understand what's happening right now so you can kind of understand the dynamics of this situation. Now, those of you who are asking me exactly what to buy, exactly what to do, exactly what's going to happen, I'm not answering those questions because I don't know what's going to happen. I cannot predict these things. I can tell you what the dynamic looks like and what the possibilities are, maybe some of the probabilities, but I cannot tell you the specifics of what is going to happen just yet, because number one, I'm not giving you investment advice. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to tell you which stock to pick. But then number two, it's very hard to predict these things. You know, it's really a matter of knowing all the things that could happen and being ready. You know, so like if you're a football coach and you're running the defense, you don't know. You think it could be they could run the ball. The other team could pass the ball. They could pass it to the wide receiver on the left, or they could do an out route to the right. You think you kind of can speculate on what they might do, but you never know until the game's actually played, until they actually snap the ball and throw it or run it or whatever they're going to do. So the same thing is true here. Nobody really knows until it actually goes down. I personally am a better on the idea that we've overreacted to the coronavirus. I just really believe that people are freaked out. And here's more of this note from the partners. It says, the outlook is uncertain, or rather certainly bearish in the near term, as quarantining spreads around the world, but with considerable doubt as to the duration and depth of the economic fallout. So let me read that to you one more time. Hit the thumbs up button, by the way. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please hit the thumbs up button. The last part, the outlook is uncertain, or rather certainly bearish in the near term, as quarantining spreads around the world, but with considerable doubt as to the duration and depth of the economic fallout. What is that saying? It's saying that, one, the outlook is uncertain. That means don't nobody know. Remember, I told you the only thing we know is that we don't know. Like the only thing that is certain is that the only thing certain is uncertainty. That is the only certain thing I can tell you for sure, is that they don't know shit, which really makes me feel like we might have overreacted, because people are acting as if the world's coming to an end. I'm going to need to be convinced of that. And then they say, or rather certainly bearish in the near term. Yes, very bearish, meaning that a bear economy or a bear market is based on investor sentiment being negative and people kind of feeling a little sad and scared and weak and everything else. And you're going to see, you could potentially see a prolonged bear market as a result of this particular trigger that causes some other fundamental problems to arrive in the economy. So you could be looking at a bear market. You could be looking at a pretty slow growing stock market for a long time. So those of you who weren't listening to me when I told you to start buying back in 2014, I wish you had listened to me. See, don't nobody listen to me. Everybody listen to Cardi B, but don't nobody listen to a finance professor. All I am is I'm the Negro with the PhD. But y'all go listen to a rapper before you listen to a black man who's teaching you about this stuff. So anyway, I'm messing with you. I'm just kidding. But in all seriousness, though, this was expected. The market was not going to continue to do as well as it's been doing the last 10, 12 years. It can't happen. I would sit there and say, it's too easy to make money right now. It can't stay this way. So yeah, so if this could be the beginning of a massive change in the structural dynamics of the market. It doesn't mean investing isn't still the way to go. The last 200 years have proven that investors tend to do better than non-investors, even if you start off poor. So again, if you don't own shares of stock, please, by the time you walk out of here, just promise me right now, you just put a yes in the chat if you will go, continue to invest for yourself and for your children. Just give me that public commitment right now. Type yes in the chat. Yes, that you will invest, that you're going to get on your Cash App, get on your Acorn, Stash, Robinhood, and just get in the game. That's how you get a chance to win the game. You can't win the game if you're not in the game. Get in the game, because that's why rich people are winning, is because they're in the game. So let me read the last sentence again. So the outlook is uncertain, or rather certainly bearish in the near term, as quarantining spreads around the world. So the quarantines are going to be an issue, but with considerable doubt as to the duration and depth of the economic fallout. So what they're saying is, now pay attention, they used the word certain twice. They said the outlook is uncertain, or rather certainly bearish. So they're certain about their uncertainty. They're certain about their uncertainty, but they're certain that people are bearish in the near term, meaning that it's like, I know for sure that I don't know anything, but one thing I do know is that people are scared and people are sad, and that it's going to hurt the economy, right? And then also the last part, then they get to doubt. First they talk about certainty, and then they throw in considerable doubt. The term considerable doubt is used to say, well, with considerable doubt as to the duration and depth of the economic fallout. So the doubt is, feeding into the fact that they're certain about the fact that they don't know anything. The doubt comes in the fact that we know things are bad. We know people feel bad. We know this is probably going to be a bear market. We just don't know how long. And I think those are really key indicators, or key factors here in terms of sort of saying, that $1 million question I gave you guys earlier, not too long ago, I was mentioning this on the Black Financial Channel to you guys yesterday, I think, where I said, the big question to me is, are we going to be talking about the coronavirus a month from now? I wish I could see, the newspaper headlines on April 2nd, 2020. And I'd love to know, are we still even going to be talking about this, or is it going to just disappear like Ebola did? Like what happened to Ebola? I'm still asking people, like, where did Ebola go? I mean, why aren't there like new cases of Ebola popping up every day? Also, how much more deadly is this market, or how much more deadly is this virus than the flu? I'm still trying to figure that out. Why is it that we have thousands of people that die from the flu, and it's nobody says anything, but one person dies from the coronavirus, and it's a big deal? Is it because one death is the beginning of something unbelievable and scary, or is it because media hype? I don't know. Is media just that's the thing? I don't know what's going on here. I can't tell you exactly. So what I'm gonna do is keep you guys posted and updated. Do me a favor, please hit the thumbs up button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Also, we're running a 1 month, $1 trial in my stock market investing class. So if you'd like to try out my stock market investing class for 1 month for $1, you can actually go to theblackstockmarketprogram.com. That's theblackstockmarketprogram.com. So somebody please type that into the chat so other people can see it. Here we go. I'll just share the link right there so you guys can just, feel free to join the class if you'd like to. For $1, you can try it out, and I guarantee you're going to love it because everybody loves it, and because we teach very well. We teach better than whatever college you went to. We're better than they are. So have a good day, everybody, and thank you again, Oakland. It was real. I love hanging out with you guys. I'll be back to San Jose for the summit run by Constance Carter. It's wesummit-voice.com, wesummit-voice.com. I'm also going to come back to Oakland and some other places and do some more stuff. And some other places, I'll be in Brooklyn for the All Black National Convention. I'm going to go to New Orleans for the Essence Fest. So you should come down to the Essence Fest. I'm not going to appear at the Essence Fest. I'm going to actually have an event right in the same city at the same time. It's going to be a big event. And we got a few other things. Also in Maryland next month, the Spring Into Wealth, springintowealth.com. That's their URL. So if you want to come see me in Hanover, Maryland, and we're doing an all-day seminar, you can go to springintowealth.com. So thank you, Coco Rowe and Tony, for sharing the URL. I appreciate that. And feel free to go give the class a try. Now somebody says, get a Cash App, Doc. I do have Cash App. Somebody asked my Cash App. It is $Dr. Boyce, $Dr. Boyce. So if you're feeling generous and you want to throw something in my Cash App, I'm not going to send it back. Because actually, we are getting ready for the big wedding on July 11th, and everybody's invited. And we just finished setting up the invite page. I'll release it in the next couple of days. All of you guys can come to the Black Royal Wedding where Alicia and I are getting married. Our hashtag is Boyce and Alicia. I'll probably put it at like boyceandalicia.com or something like that. And we don't want any gifts. Do not give us any gifts. We'd like for you to donate to your community. So what we did was we created the Boyce and Alicia Watkins Foundation. And the Boyce and Alicia Watkins Foundation has one goal and one major goal only. Are you listening? Yes or no? Tell me you're listening. Please tell me you're listening to this. Our goal is to support the creation of a Black-owned school system. We want to find all the Black-owned schools, independent Black schools, where they're being taught about Black people, and we want to help them raise money. I had a long conversation with Marcus Klein, who runs Freedom Home Academy International in Chicago. That's going to be my ground zero. That's where I'm going to begin the work. And we got Muhammad University of Islam right there in the city. Now they've got support from the Nation of Islam. So I'm also going to lean a lot toward those schools that don't have support. Or the new Al-Qabalan school down in Florida, run by Cheryl Irvin. And we're having conversations with lots of Black-owned schools, because here's your number one problem as a community. Your soldiers are being killed at birth. Your babies are being aborted even if they're born. They're being aborted. And what do I mean by that? Well, when your child is 5, 6 years old and they're going to a school that spends more time teaching them to honor slave masters like George Washington than they're spending teaching them about slave liberators like Marcus Garvey, what kind of community can you build when your greatest, most intelligent soldiers are being taught to fight for your open enemy, as Vicky Dillard calls it? What kind of community can you build when your children are going to school and being taught more about European history than they're being taught about their own history? You know, what kind of school, what kind of community can you build when your children are not even being taught how to read because they're being educated by people who are more likely to train them to be basketball and football players than they are to train them how to be thinkers and leaders. You see, that's why you got the problem. You know, you got black women out here that can't find a good husband. It's because because you're not producing quality men at a quality level. You're not. We're just not. Black men, we falling short, man. Seriously. And black women, some of y'all got some issues too. Y'all know y'all ain't perfect. So don't think I'm letting women off the hook. You know, but seriously, we got to do better, man. We got to do better. So that's what me and Alicia believe in. We're going to we created the foundation, and anybody who wants to come to the wedding can come. The wedding's free. You can come on in. It's Rockefeller Chapel, but you gotta bring an invitation. You can't. There's gonna be security, so they won't let you without an invitation. But the invitations are free, but you gotta have one. But then after that, we want you to donate to the foundation because we need to support our own damn schools. It makes no sense. Your community can never prosper and win if you will put more money into a Black Panther movie for Disney than you'll put into your own school system. So we're gonna challenge you a little bit. We're gonna say, hey, you know, we're not telling you to give us everything or throw out money that you don't have, but we're gonna ask you, you know, like, look, if we give you full transparency, we show you what we're building, we show you where the revenues are going. Like, we're not gonna do one of those like we're gonna take the money and hide and not tell nobody. We'll tell you what we're doing. We'll show you the committees of Black educators that we're working with. We'll film the journey. We'll make sure that you're involved and connected and you can see this happening. But we're asking for your help because I believe that if we work together, we can move this forward. If we could get the Black community to invest as much money in ourselves and each other as we invest in eating fast food, for example, we could do so much with that. You know, or if you look at the amount of money we spend on shoes and movie tickets and comedy shows and fashion and Gucci and all this other crap, you know, like that stuff's okay. I'm not judging that. I'm just saying, treat yourself as well as you treat other people. Treat yourself as well as you treat the people who hate you. Treat the people who love you as well as you treat the people who hate you, and that is how your community can be strong. So that's what we're about to do. That's what the plan is, and I want to make sure the plan is spoken into the universe because that's what makes it real. And I want you guys to just sort of sink that in, process that, and help us win. We will win this battle. Okay, guys. So I'm about to get out of here. Please take care. Have a great day. And again, the URL for the stock market class, theblackstockmarketprogram.com. You get a one-day trial. I'll paste the link in there one more time so you guys can see it. So feel free to go there. And there's a 30-day, 100% money back guarantee. We have a great customer support team available to talk to you anytime. So feel free to check it out and give it a try. So I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Have a great day. I'm going to bed. Talk to you later. Peace.